Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I will be doing my spoiler-free review of The Great Alone by Kristin Hannah, and this is her newest novel that ended up coming out in 2018, but I finally picked it up earlier this year. So it's really excited to finally have this in my hands because I've been wanting it for such a long time. I've just been holding off for some reason. So it follows a girl named Lenny who is growing up in the 70s, and she lives in a very dysfunctional family. Her mother is very much docile and a victim of domestic abuse, and her father was a prisoner of war during the Vietnam War, and he's kind of suffering from PTSD, and he's also being abusive towards his wife and Lenny as well. So they've kind of been bouncing around from different towns and all of that stuff until the dad decides one day that they need to move out to Alaska. He was given to this house by a fellow comrade who passed away during the war, and so they just inherited this little part of the town. So they go up there, and so basically they think their whole life is going to be better, but then the long nights and the harsh winters kind of lead to some problems there. So I think that's a general synopsis of what you need to know going into this. And so because I am such a huge Kristin Hannah fan and I've read so many of her books, I had really high expectations going into this, and I've heard really great things about it overall, but always, in my opinion, the Firefly Lane and The Nightingale are like the standard that I use to base her other books on. So this one I ended up giving like 4.5 out of 5 stars. I think Kristin Hannah did a very good job at showcasing the complexities of domestic abuse and living in a domestic abuse environment, and especially because this is told from Lenny's perspective. We see signs, and it alludes to it when she's younger, where she doesn't really fully grasp what's going on until she's in her teens and she sees what's going on there. And I felt that fear of being in the home with her father. Like, I felt that fear, and I think she did a really good job of portraying that through her words and her writing, is creating that fear and uncertainty within the house and also within the Alaskan environment. And again, as well, it was very atmospheric as well. I've never been to Alaska, but my uncle is a vet, and he does like the snow sled races with the dogs. Like, he's a vet for that stuff. So I've like seen pictures of Alaska and like heard about it, but I've never been. I kind of want to go now just to visit. I would never be able to live there, but I really like how she created that atmosphere, and I could totally picture this small town and like the kooky neighbors, and then just like that environment of, you know, living in that type of lifestyle. I think she did a really good job at that as well. However, there are some parts in here that I did feel like were a bit over dramatic, and they were dramatic for just being like raising the stakes, but they weren't really necessary. I felt in here some of the things, it was just like I don't know, I felt they were very unbelievable, and I don't know, I just had a really hard time grasping it. It was almost like a Hallmark movie or a Lifetime movie where it's just like, come on. And I felt that did kind of take away from the kind of the whole story as a whole, overall, I should say. And it kind of made it very unrealistic in my eyes, and I did feel like it did suffer from some pacing issues. In particular, the beginning's a little bit slow as they're making their way up to Alaska, and then kind of in between, when it's like winter months, and there will be like a big time jump, but then it will stay in one part for like a little bit too long. So there were some pacing issues, but like I said, overall I really enjoyed this novel. It was really interesting, and I didn't find myself crying in this one. My aunt said it was a tearjerker, but she cries for like commercials and in The Little Mermaid. But I don't know, I didn't feel that emotional pull that her other books have had in the past. I did, like I said, I think I did have that with kind of the fear within that domestic violence relationship and the dynamics of that, but I just didn't have that connection to the characters as I've had in the past. So like I said, this isn't my favorite Kristin Hannah book, but it's definitely within the top 3. So I'm really interested to see what you guys have, if you guys read this, what you thought about it, just because it's been a while since this book has come out, and I meant to grab it, but it's always been really expensive for some reason, like really expensive, and even on Amazon the used ones I've found, or even at half price books, have been pretty expensive. So that's why I've been holding out on like getting this until the price kind of got within what I thought it was actually worth. But like I said, it was a very interesting novel. I loved the Alaskan like in setting and all of that stuff, and I kind of wanted to go up and see there. Maybe I should just go venture out more of Canada before I head out to all the way up there. But yeah, let me guys know what you think, because I do think, like, overall from what I read on Goodreads, this is a generally, like, everyone really seems to like it. So yeah, let me know, because this book has been out for a while, so if you've read this, let me know. So that's it guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this book and what your thoughts and opinions were and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!